Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Stone, and this is lesson 34. We're going to be talking about prepositions and prepositional phrases. We finished with adverbs, and so now it's time to move on. And I am assuming that some of you have never even heard about preposition and prepositional phrases before, so this may be completely new to some of you. So let's talk about what a preposition is. Okay, preposition is going to be a little word. Now, a prepositional phrase is a group of words, but all prepositional phrases begin with a preposition. So you first need to know what a preposition is. It says a preposition is a word that shows how a noun or pronoun is connected to some other word in a sentence. Now, it says the snowshoe hare lives in Alaska. If you look down below, it's going to give you a common list of prepositions. All right, if we look on that list, you're going to see the word in. So in is a preposition. In Alaska is a prepositional phrase. During the summer, the hare's coat is brown. During is the preposition. During the summer is the prepositional phrase. Now you're going to notice that in a prepositional phrase, it's going to begin with a preposition, and normally it will end with the object of that preposition. In other words, it's going to end with a noun. And so in both of those cases, in is a preposition, Alaska is the noun. During is the preposition, summer is the noun. So let's take a look at the next one. It says the hare's brown coat blends with the ground. With is a preposition, ground is the object of the preposition, and it's a noun. So what a prepositional phrase basically does, it gives you more information, and it also makes your sentences more vivid. Because if I said the car stopped, all right, but if I said the car stopped near the grocery store, okay, it is telling me more about where the car stopped. So it makes the sentence more vivid and it gives more information. So there is a list of here are some common prepositions. I probably will not have you memorize them, but I will give you a hint. In 5th grade, you are required to memorize prepositions so that you'll be able to recognize them very quickly in a sentence. We don't memorize them in 4th grade, but you will memorize them in 5th grade. So you could get a head start. It says a prepositional phrase is a group of words that begins with a preposition and ends with a noun or pronoun. When a prepositional phrase comes at the beginning of a sentence, it is followed by a comma. A lot of people forget about that comma. All right, but if a prepositional phrase is at the beginning of the sentence, you have to have a comma after it. So let's take a look at the examples that they gave you. It says, after the first snowfall, comma, the hare's coat turns white. So after is the preposition. After the first snowfall is the prepositional phrase. It begins with the preposition after, and it ends with a noun, snowfall. The hare with the white coat eats its meal. Now, this one is in the middle, okay? It's telling you more about the hare. So, the hare with the white coat. With the white coat is a prepositional phrase. With is the preposition. Coat is a noun. It's the object of the preposition. So, it is in the middle of the sentence. And the last one, it says, another snowshoe hare sits beside it. All right? Is giving you more information about where it is sitting. So if you look on the list, beside is the preposition. It is a pronoun. So it ends with the pronoun. Prepositional phrases add important and interesting information to sentences. It makes a sentence more interesting, and it tells you more about the subject, the verb, both, whatever. But it just helps give a more vivid description of what you're thinking in your head. All right, so let's look at practice set A. And this is what it looks like. So it says, read each sentence. Look at each prepositional phrase in boldface. They were so nice, and they gave you the prepositional phrase. All they want you to do is pick out the preposition. Now, if you were paying attention to the lesson, you know that all prepositional phrases begin with a what? A preposition. So, it's going to be very easy to figure out what needs to go into the blank. Now, if they didn't boldface for you the whole prepositional phrase, then that's a little tougher because then you have to look back on that list and see if you can pick out the word that is the preposition. But they made it so easy for you. So let's look at the first one. I'm going to do the first one with you, then you can do the rest because this is an easy assignment. So I read a book about camouflage. So the prepositional phrase is about camouflage. We know that a prepositional phrase begins with a preposition about and ends with camouflage, which is the noun. So what I want you to go ahead and do, I want you to go through and do 2 through 10 by yourself, and then you can come back and check the lesson. All right, now that you are back, let's go through and look at the answers. It says camouflage lets an animal hide from its predators. From its predators is the prepositional phrase. What starts the prepositional phrase is the preposition, and so your answer is going to be from. Number 3, the chameleon lives in Asia and Africa. All right. Now, this one, I'm going to talk a little bit about the noun that it ends with, but your prepositional phrase is in Asia and Africa, and the preposition is in. I want to talk about Asia and Africa for a minute. The reason why the prepositional phrase does not stop at Asia is because they are taking Asia and Africa as one group, and so it's going to stop at Africa. If you see an and or an or in there, then it's going to include both of them and not just stop at the first one. Number 4, among green leaves, comma, this lizard turns green. So, among green leaves is a prepositional phrase, and so the word among is the preposition. Above a brown branch, comma, it turns brown. Above a brown branch is the prepositional phrase, and so it starts with the word above. Number 6, a giraffe has dark blotches on its coat. They've highlighted in boldface the prepositional phrase on its coat, and all prepositional phrases begin with a preposition, so your answer should be on. Number 7, these blotches look like patches of shade. They've boldfaced of shade. So of shade is your prepositional phrase. All prepositional phrases begin with the preposition, so you should have written of. Number 8, the giraffe is hard to see under trees. Under trees is your prepositional phrase, and the word under is your preposition. One of the things that my old English teacher used to tell me is you could do, when you say a preposition, okay, if you could fit it into the sentence, the bird flew blank the mountain, okay? Now, some of them are going to make sense, all right? But a lot of them are. So, like, the bird flew from the mountain, the bird flew under the mountain, the bird flew in the mountain, the bird flew around the mountain, okay? The bird flew between the mountains, things like that. And so some of them won't fit, but it's a good test to check to see. And then there's an exception to every rule. You know that already. Okay, number 9. It says, a fawn with spots is also hard to see. Okay, they've highlighted with spots. So with spots is your prepositional phrase. All prepositional phrases begin with a preposition, so the preposition is with. All right, the last one. Light and shadows hide it from view. From view is your prepositional phrase. All prepositional phrases begin with what? A preposition. And so on number 10, it should be from. This is a fairly easy exercise. Now, I don't remember exactly what your workbook looks like for Wednesday and Thursday, and we will be hopefully playing a preposition game during reading time on Tuesday. But it's easy when they highlight it for you. The difficult part comes when you have to pick out the prepositional phrase yourself. That's why in 5th grade, you memorize the prepositions because it makes it a lot easier to find. In 4th grade, we don't memorize it. It's helpful, but I'm not going to require it. But it's easy to find prepositional phrases if you know the prepositions. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you ready and raring to play a preposition game on Tuesday.